Okay, let us start the session. Hi everyone. So my name is Sudhans, and actually here it is called as Sudhir. So I'm having experience in this IT industry from past 11 plus years, and in the recent times I'm working more on continuation technology from past 7 plus years. So these are the certifications which I hold. Okay, so if you need any help or any assistance on this particular certifications, you can contact me. Like two certifications I'm holding from Kubernetes and two certifications I'm holding from Azure and one of the certification from AWS, that is Solution Architect Associate, and then one certificate from OpenStack. So if you need any career guidance on this particular certificate, you can just contact me. Okay. So coming back to the point, before we actually understand. Okay, so let us see some particular basics, like why we have to learn this particular DevSecOps. Before entering into that, first we need to learn about few basics in the IT industry. So let us see what is the first one. So I hope everyone hears about it. Can someone answer like what is information technology? So does anyone have some idea? Like what is information technology? So everybody is looking for a job in IT, right? So what is that information technology? And even
Processing
you
of
are joining this
information.
particular session right now to get a job in IT, right? So you might be working in IT as well. So what is meant by information technology?
Processing of data using technology to convert it into useful information.
Yeah. So anything that the device that stores the information or that transfers the information or that manages the information is called as IT, information technology. So that particular technology will help you to store the information, to transfer the information, or to manage the information. For example, satellites, your televisions, social networking, okay, and then you have your mobile phones to interact with the people. If this technology is not available, most of the things cannot be done in the current world. So technology is important for us. Information technology. So everything is all about information, right? If you store the data, if you talk to someone, if you watch someone, if you watch some particular show, all these are like informations. What it is spreading across the globe of this technology. Okay, so that's all about information technology right now. For example, your hard disk, pen drive, this is also called as information technology. So let us see the next point. So since we have answered that, let us see the next one. What is website? You might have seen the Amazon website, Flipkart, Amazon, Facebook, everything, right? Like Google Meeting, what you're using right now. What is a website? Anyone?
That is something we can able to interact with the customers, or that is
Sorry, you're
easier
not
to
audible.
them.
Your mic is
Is
far
that
away from you.
is that fine now?
Yeah, yeah, better.
Yeah, website is helpful to reach to the customers directly, and by that they we can able to understand what are they are uh, providing as services for us, something in the way like where it helps
Okay,
the bulk of data informations in the
okay.
single link.
Simple. Let me keep it simple, your sentence and whatever you've told. A website is nothing but a pages, right? To share the information. So what is a website? It is a combination of pages. Home page, gallery, login page, logout page. All these are called as pages. Every page is nothing but a website. Is that true? The combination of web pages is equivalent to website. So you have to use some particular language or some particular program to develop this particular website. Maybe HTML, CSS styling, or maybe PHP, or you might be using some React JS or any other programming. So by using that, maybe Python, Django. By using all this, you will design a website. For what reason? I need to reach my clients or I need to reach my customers and share what I provide. So that is called as website. Okay, it's a combination of pages to share the information. Okay, or to serve the information. It is called as website. Okay, then what is operating system? You might be using on daily basis. You are using Android, iOS, Windows, Linux, or any other operating system. So why we need to have operating system? What is that exactly?
which is interact with the mission. Like for example, computer is a mission where we need a OS to communicate with the mission, and that will be useful in other way.
Exactly. So as a human being, I cannot talk to the hardware, right? Your motherboard, let's say your hard disk, CPU, memory. Can I talk to them? No. They will understand certain language that is binary, ones and zeros combination. So as a human being, I can understand my own language, let's say mother tongue or English language, which is common for us. We use that. Now I want someone to convert this human readable language into machine level language and machine level language into human readable language. Okay, so that particular job will be done by operating system. And not only that, it will do multitasking. Means I can open a VSC player, I can play some music or a movie, and parallelly I can open a browser and I can watch something. And at a time in the backend, I can play the games or I can run some application. So on a single system, you're running these many things, multitasking. You will say one person if he's doing multiple tasking, right? Multiple task in the sense what? At a time he's doing both the jobs. Okay. So that is like multitasking. So your system will do a multitasking based on the operating system what you have used. And the other things as well, like CPU, memory and all. All these are like factors. But the major important option why we have to go for operating system is to interact with the hardware. For example, you want to install something on the mobile, let's say WhatsApp. Without having operating system, how your application will be installed? It has to talk to your CPU, memory, and storage to do certain actions. So this operating system will help us to run your applications or a software and to convert your human readable language into machine level language into human readable language. So that is the main purpose why we go for operating system. So what is the last one and final one? Why we are learning this course? So everybody is talking about cloud computing. So what is the meaning of it? So have you done R&D on this? Like before coming to this course or someone told you this course, right? You need to understand what is cloud computing or the terminology is what I've displayed here. What is cloud computing?
The data
It is
what we
something which is present at remote location.
Providing a resource over the internet is called as cloud computing. Simple
Yes.
sentence to understand so that everybody will write, right? So providing a resource over the internet. For example, earlier, if I want an internet connection, for example, what you're using at your home, now you have joined this particular demo class. How you are joined? We are not sitting in front of each other, right? You are sitting somewhere else in the at your home, and I'm sitting at my home, and we are able to talk to each other. How is that possible? Internet. So internet is one of the cloud computing, right? So it is providing a resource over the internet. So GoToMeeting is one particular cloud computing. AWS is your cloud service provider. Azure is your cloud service provider. We have GCP as a cloud service provider. So nowadays, if you want to create some resource, we don't need to purchase, or we don't need to manage, or we don't need to maintain that. Everything will be done by your provider. For example, you are getting internet at your home. So if you need to set up internet at your home, we need some particular machine, we need an application, I need an employee to maintain that. I need to purchase satellite connections and all. I need to do all these things. Am I doing this right now? No. I'll contact my internet service provider, ISP, let's say Airtel, Geo, or let's say Act Fiber if you're staying in major cities. Okay. So like broadband connections, we call it as. You'll contact them, you will see what is the plan suitable for you, and then you'll purchase it. Rest of the things will be managed by whom? Your service provider. So he will take care of it. If it is internet is not working, will you troubleshoot anything here? No. You'll raise a ticket, you'll raise a complaint, and the complaint will be received by the service provider, and he will resolve it, or he will troubleshoot it. So that's the benefit of using cloud computing. So half of the burden or the investment will be reduced for the clients. For example, I want to develop a product. The product has to be running on the server. So will I purchase a hardware and run the particular setup and all? And will I maintain that? Will I monitor that? No. It needs lot of investment, and it is lot of what you say a maintenance as well. So I don't want to take that headache. To run a simple Swiggy or Zomato applications, will I purchase a data center or will I invest on that particular infrastructure? No. I will see who is providing this particular resource. I will invest on that and I will create my resource and I will run my application. That's what I do. So that's the benefit of using cloud computing. But the definition of the cloud computing is providing the on-demand IT resource over the internet is called as cloud computing. Okay. So these are the basic terminologies that we have to understand before stepping into any technology that you learn from IT side. Okay. If you're learning for any cloud computing, you have to know what is cloud computing. Okay. So I hope I've answered some basic terminologies of this. Let's go to the actual demo. Okay. Now here we are talking about what is DevSecOps. So does anyone know what is DevSecOps? It is an extension to your DevOps, right? So we are learning some additional tools. Apart from DevOps tools, we'll be learning some particular more tools related to security. That is, we have development. So DevOps in the sense what? Development plus security plus operations. You can see yes, of each and every word. DevSecOps. So what development team will do? They will develop the code or they develop the software, right? For your application or whatever your requirement, client requirement is. So development team will develop a code, right? They'll build the code and they will test the code. That is the job of development team. Now, let's say I will write some piece of code. Let me give some more elaboration of it. For example, you are a developer, maybe Python, Django, whatever it is, let's say Java, .NET, let's say Node, whatever it is. You are from any language. You are a developer. Now you will write the code. Now you will build the code. And then you will test the code. That is the job of a developer right now. Now, when you write the code, how will you tell that your code is secure? Whatever the code you have written is right or wrong? Who will decide that? Your developer, let's say senior developer, or there might be some particular testing tools, right? To test your code and tell and certify it. Now, as part of this, we need to check the security as well. Whether you are using a proper modules or not, whether you are using any third-party modules or not. Do we have any loopholes in this particular code? Because if we have any loopholes in the code, which is called as code smells or any duplication of the code, that will affect your application or a software. So that is a job of security team. So what are the testing tools we have in order to test your code that we have to automate in DevOps? Okay. So earlier we used to do it manually. For example, for testing the code, we have a software, security testing. I'm talking about security testing, not code testing. Okay. To find out the loopholes, what we have in the development, what we done. Now, earlier, what we used to do, we used to run it manually. But since DevOps culture has been adopted by many organizations to automate the process and deliver the software much faster, now testing also, security testing also should be done in automation. So at the time, you have to know what is the tool that we have to use and which tool we have to use and how to integrate that tool into the automation. That is a part of our job right now. So that comes under DevSecOps. So development is one particular phase where we write the code, build the code, and test the code. After that, security. So what is meant by security? Finding out the misconfigurations or vulnerabilities, we call it as, or security partitioners. Okay, let's say security best practices. What are these? All these terminologies. I'll tell you about vulnerabilities. Have you ever heard about vulnerabilities? Security vulnerabilities. Did anyone? Anyone from this group?
Yeah, this is
No?
something we got theft alert or something like we got a threaten something. So that's supposed to be get secure.
Yeah. So that particular thread will affect your code, right? The other code what you have written. Okay. So to identify them, how will you do that? See, by looking at the code, I cannot tell, right? Which code is having vulnerability and which code is not having vulnerability. So at the time, what have to you see? I need to pick a tool. The tool will help me to find out the vulnerabilities, what we have in the code or in the software. And will you run it manually? No, right? Everything is automated right now in DevOps. Now we need to find out a tool. The tool you need to know how to integrate into the CI/CD pipeline, and then you have to automate, and we need to generate the result. Based on that, you have to take an action. Now, in this particular course, you will be learning what are the security tools we have to identify vulnerabilities or security loopholes or any code, what is this, code smells and all these things. So we have to find out the tools, and after that, you need to know how to integrate them to the CI/CD pipelines to automate the process. That is a major goal of when you compare with the DevOps and DevSecOps. So you're learning DevOps plus security. So it is high profile, right? So we'll have many opportunities and the job opportunities will be more compared to DevOps because you are doing some additional tasks. You are securing your environment and your code and everything. Okay. So that is a major goal of security. And what is meant by operations? Releasing the product means I need to deploy the code on the server. That is a job of operations team. If there are any issues, they have to fix it while deploying the code, or they have to monitor the environment. See, after deploying application, how will you say that your application is running on 24/7? Someone has to monitor it. So will I sit in front of the system and will monitor my application? That is not my job. Any person will not work for 24/7, 365 days, right? So my job limit is only for daily 8 hours, for example. So I will see for 8 hours, but that too, I have many works. I cannot sit in front of the application and see whether it is working or not. So someone has to do the job on behalf of me. Those are nothing but monitoring tools. So you need to know how to deploy the code, how to fix the issues of any code deployment, or you need to know how to monitor as well. The environment what you have created or the application what you have deployed. So that is the job role of operations team. Now together it is called as DevSecOps. So you need to know development a bit, security a bit, and then operations. Okay. So I will keep it so simple for now. Maybe now itself you will not understand the whole things of the security, but when you enter into the actual course, then you will understand in detail what are the things that we need to learn to implement security to our DevOps, the culture which is already adopted to the organization. Okay. So any questions in this?
Seems to be okay.
So DevOps is nothing but development plus security plus operations. So this is the new what is a implementation that is added into the DevOps. That's the reason DevSecOps came into picture. Okay. So now let us understand other things. So to be a DevSecOps engineer on AWS cloud, what are the topics or what are the tools that we have to learn? Let us see that. As part of that, let us see what are the prerequisites for AWS DevSecOps engineer. Okay. First, we need to learn AWS DevOps tools. So what are the AWS DevOps tools? As part of that, before learning AWS DevOps tools, first we need to learn about Linux operating system. And then in that, I will be using Ubuntu operating system. And finally, we need to learn about shell scripting. So why we are choosing Linux operating system? Let me give you some fundamentals of it. There are three types of operating systems: single user single task, single user multitask, and multi-user multitask. Does anyone know about this? Single user single task, single user multitask, and multi-user multitask. Does anyone know the meanings of this particular types? Anyone? Don't feel shy.
Yeah.
Say
The
whatever
meaning,
you
but I'm
can tell.
about, yeah.
Sorry?
No, I know the meaning, but I not able to explain in that framing way.
Okay, I'll tell you. Single user single task in the sense only one user can log into your system. If another person wants to log in, first you have to log out. Then only the other person can log into your system. That is called as single user. Now, what is meant by single task? You can run only one application at a time. For example, I've already opened VLC player. Can I play the game right now? You cannot. First, you have to close your VLC player. Then only you can open the the game or whatever you want. So at a time, you can run only one task. Okay. For example, right now I am speaking to you. Can I do any other task right now? I cannot. That is called as single user single task. Now that is one of the operating system what we have. The DOS operating system what we used to use earlier. Do you know that 10 years back or 8 years back, if you purchase any laptop, right, they used to go by default MS-DOS operating system. Is that true? DOS operating system. That is a single user single task operating system. Okay. Now what is the next technology they developed? So technology has not stopped there, right? They developed another one called single user multitask because they found the problem in the single user single task operating system because you can run only one operation at a time. But if you want to run multiple operations, only one person can log in. But that one person can launch multiple applications in the backend. I can play a VLC player. I can play a game, I can open the browser, I can play some music in the backend. So all these things I can do at a time. That is called as multitasking. Okay. So single user multitask operating systems. Okay. The next technology, what is that? Multi-user multitask. So multiple users can log into your system at a time, and every user can run their own applications, whatever they want. But everything will be running on the same hardware. You need to understand that everybody logged into the same hardware, but multiple people have logged in and multiple people are running multiple applications. That is called as multi-user multitask. So your Linux operating system comes under multi-user multitask. So let's say you have 28 members here right now. Now I created a Linux operating system. Now for these 28 members, what we have in this team right now, I can give username password for each and every member. Now at a time, all you people can log into my system right now. Yes, you can. There is no restriction. Everybody can log into my system. Okay, and everybody can run their own applications on the system if hardware is supported. That is called as multi-user multitask. So your Linux operating system is a multi-user multitask. Okay, and that too, Linux is widely used by many of the organizations to run their applications when you compare with Windows. Okay, so that's the reason why we have to use a tool which is used by many of the organizations. Then only we'll have more opportunities, right? So that's the reason why we will be learning Linux operating system. And in Linux, we have many flavors. Like we have Red Hat, CentOS, Linux Mint, OpenSUSE. Then we have Ubuntu, Debian, and many more. Okay, in that I'm choosing Ubuntu operating system. Now you might have a question: do I need to learn all the operating systems? No. If you learn one Linux operating system, almost all the Linux operating systems are familiar. They are like a cloned copies. Okay, so first you have to be familiar with any one of the Linux operating system, and that too widely used. The most widely used operating system nowadays is nothing but Red Hat and Ubuntu. These are widely used operating systems. Red Hat, I cannot, you people cannot practice. Why? Because you need to purchase a license key for it. If you want to use a full-fledged Red Hat operating system, for that you need to purchase a license key. Instead of that, without purchasing any license key, if you want to learn about Linux operating system, we have an alternative called Ubuntu Server. And remember that too, we are not using desktop version. Right now, we are using server edition. So what is the difference between desktop version and server edition? In Windows also, we have desktop and server. Any example for that? For a Windows desktop, what is an example? For Windows Server, what is an example? Do you know the version numbers? Anyone?
It is Windows Server like 2019, 2012
That is
was
server
earlier.
edition.
Yeah, and desktop, the one which we use on our laptop and all, the one which is
Exactly.
GUI interface and all. So that's the desktop one. So,
Yeah. The operating system which provides a GUI is called as desktop operating system. The operating system which provides only CLI, command line interface, like your command prompt, what you have in Windows or a PowerShell, these are like command line interfaces. So if you have only that, and if you don't see GUI, that is called as server edition. Okay. So why I'm choosing only server edition? Though it is bit, what do you say, for a new learners, it is too, let's say, bit tough, but it is easy. It is not too tough. Okay. So why we have to learn server edition? Because in real-time projects, we don't use desktop versions. Whether you take a Windows, whether you take a Linux, we don't use desktop versions. Desktop version is only for our practice purpose, not for real-time projects. In real-time projects, we use only server edition because it will have only minimal packages what are necessary to run your applications. And that too, it is high-end, what is it, programming what they use in the server edition. So even if you are learning about Linux operating system, we have to learn only server edition, not desktop. So we will be using Ubuntu server edition. So in Ubuntu, the server edition will be even numbers, not odd numbers, like 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Now the latest one is 22. So we will be learning Ubuntu with server edition on version 22.04. So that is the latest version what we are going to use in this particular course. And what is the meaning of LTS? Does anyone know the full form? You might have seen some softwares where they will show you LTS.
Long-term support.
What is the benefit of that? Like your warranty card, right? When you purchase any
So
product.
it's
like the 30
so
days
that's
or
a
something.
stable version actually. Like
Yeah,
there's two type
simple
normally.
way to understand it is like a extended warranty card for your products. For example, I purchase a TV, right? They provide you 2 years warranty. To extend that, I'll purchase extend card. Let's say 5 years or 6 years. Then what is the benefit of that? You'll get a support. Similar to that, LTS in the sense long-term support. So Ubuntu has released one particular version, let's say 22. How long they will support? Official support is 5 years. Until 5 years, you don't need to worry about upgrading the operating system. They'll provide you continuous bug fixes, patches, and everything. Okay, and they'll provide a support as well for 5 years. And extended support is another 5 years for valid customers. Okay, for their valid customers, they will provide you extend one more 5 years as well. So on total, how many years it is right now? 10 years. So until 10 years, if you are using LTS version, you no need to worry about upgrading your operating system. That will save the burden on the administrator. Okay, if you need to upgrade your operating system every 1 year, that will create a lot of burden or a pressure on the administrator and your application what you are deployed as well. So to avoid this, what we have to use? Long-term supported versions, stable versions we call it. We call it as stable versions. Okay. So after learning Linux operating system, right, almost it will take 10 to 15 days to complete that particular topic, Linux. Okay. And after completing that, we need to learn about shell scripting. Does anyone know what is the difference between programming and scripting? Does anyone?
Yeah, that's
Programming
sorry
is
to
different and scripting is different.
yeah, that's fine. Sorry to interrupt that. Let me know what are all the topic will be get covered in Ubuntu.
In Ubuntu, Linux, right, we'll be covering Linux commands like 45 to 50 commands. And then we will be covering package management, user management, disk management, and then system management and permission management. Not the pure administration, but not patching, kernel upgrades. We'll not discuss that because we are not working as a Linux administrators. But
Yeah,
we
yeah,
need
that's
to know
fine.
how to work with Linux operating system.
Sure. By any chance, we are going to cover any networking related things like?
Obviously, I'll talk about that one by one. Okay.
Yeah, and sorry to interrupt. And one quick question, like, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
we
go ahead.
can. Yeah, I think we can use that AWS itself, and we can launch the Ubuntu, and we can use it, right? Or you are feeling
Obviously,
like we
but
want
you have
to
to pay the
install.
charges, right? Who will pay it? It is chargeable, right? It is not free of cost.
I think we will be having 1 year
That's
of.
the reason I will show you how to set up Ubuntu operating system on your local system. In your laptop itself, you can set up the virtual machine and you can practice on Ubuntu. No need to delete your Windows operating system what you are using right now in your personal laptop. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I will tell you
it's
without having any bill how we can practice the tools what I'm showing you right now.
okay, sense.
No need to use cloud. It's not the truth. Okay. So if
Yeah,
you
that's
want to
fine.
practice Linux operating system, no need to go to any cloud and waste your money, right?
That is true. That is true. Like a VM only, we are saying, right?
Yes, exactly. So on your laptop, you can install some particular software like Oracle VirtualBox or VMware Workstation, and you can practice with Ubuntu operating system. Okay.
Sound sense.
Now, after learning these particular topics, now we need to learn about AWS services.
I think it's got disconnected.
Sudhir, are you there?
Yeah. I think unfortunately I selected on leave. Sorry for that. Let me share the screen. You're able to see the screen now?
No.
No.
No? Okay. Share the automation, make it present. Let me ask. Yeah, they have to make me present here again. Unfortunately, I clicked on leave. That's my bad.
Sense.
I think they will give the presentation, right? Just give me a couple of minutes.
No problem.
Let me raise a request. Just a second. So everyone is from IT background or like let's say non-IT background. Anyone from non-IT background? You can just raise your hands. Vishal Vasari. Okay. So yeah, I see most of the people are from non-IT background. So this course is all about from scratch. Let's say you don't know about any technology about IT. We will be starting from there. That's the reason for me it will take almost 3 months to complete this course. Okay. So it's not that you already know about IT and I'm starting from there. No. Even if you don't know what is IT, so just I've shown you, right? So always fundamentals are the most important. If you want to survive in IT industry for longer term, okay, though it is a struggle, we need to learn from scratch. Okay, then only you will understand the high end topics. Okay, if I talk about cloud right now without teaching about Linux, shell scripting, and all, that will affect your career. And few people doesn't know what is even operating system. So that is the reason why I'm starting this course from Visualpath side from scratch. So I need to explain how to install operating system, how to create a virtual machine, and then how to how to practice the commands, and then you need to learn about your tools. Even whether you are a developer or whether you are I'm just talking orally, I'm not sharing any screen. So even if you are a developer, you are an operations team, you are from security team, everybody has to use an operating system. Okay, they need to know how to deploy the tool, how the tool works. So then you need to deploy the tool on any operating system, right? So obviously you have to learn about operating system. Without learning operating system, you cannot get a job in the IT, especially in the cloud. Okay. So even if you are from scratch, if you don't know anything about this, no need to worry about it. If you already know about it, you can just watch it for a repetitive task, means to learn something new. Okay. That's all about it. I think screen I can share now. Yeah.
And Sudhir, the quick thing is like, let me know where you are working for.
Sorry.
No, which company you are working for. Sorry.
See, company I cannot share. Right now, I'm completely working for Visualpath. I stopped working in software. It's IT industry.
Oh, okay, cool.
I see Visualpath is also IT, right? So to be
Oh,
technically, I'm not working in any MNC companies right now. I quit from that company. I'm dedicatedly
oh,
working for Visualpath.
sounds great. No problem.
Yeah, and we have our own applications. I'll show you the project as well, which I'm going to show. So that project you can add it in your resume. That will help you a lot. Okay. It is a
Yep.
live project. What I'm teaching is like, so every institute will tell you it's a replication, right? But here in Visualpath, we are showing the live project. Okay. So that will help you to add in your resume or to explain in the interview as well. Okay. Let us discuss that after understanding the tools. Okay.
No.
Now, after learning these particular tools, what I have to learn next? The next one is nothing but AWS services. Okay. Since you are talking about AWS cloud computing, you need to learn about AWS services. Right now, I cannot explain each and every service, but let me list down all the services what we are going to cover in this particular course. IAM service, EC2, VPC, EBS, EFS, S3 bucket, ELB, load balancer, and then auto scaling group. Then ECR, Elastic Container Registry, Elastic Container Service, Elastic Kubernetes Service, Lambda Service, Route 53 for DNS, and CloudFront for IoT, and then Certificate Manager for certificates to purchase, and AWS Backup for disaster recovery, and then CloudTrail for monitoring. We can call it as auditing. Okay, so AWS is providing their own monitoring tools like CloudTrail and CloudWatch. Okay, and then we'll be learning Mackie. So Mackie, I've removed this actually. I forgot to remove this from the list. Okay, so that we are not going to discuss. We'll be learning about System Manager and then Cloud Shell, Code Commit, RDS, Relational Database Service, and Elastic Cache. So Cache server will be used to do some more processing. Okay, when you want to interact with the database, right? So I cannot run the queries every time. So some queries will be stored in the cache itself, so that the front-end application can load the data much faster. That is a benefit of using cache. And then we'll be learning about Resource Access Manager, and then Prometheus, which is a monitoring tool for your Kubernetes cluster. And then finally, Amazon Transfer Family or Data Sync. So these are the services what we'll be learning in AWS. Few services I have not listed here, but we will be learning them as well, which are subtopics. Okay. So these are the major services what we are going to cover under AWS Cloud. Okay. After learning these particular services, after completing these particular services, then we have to learn about, or everybody has to concentrate on Docker and Kubernetes. You might have seen in the IT people, they'll be talking about Kubernetes and Docker right now. Or if you search in Naukri or LinkedIn profiles and all, everybody is asking for Docker and Kubernetes. That is a current technology right now where everybody is running their applications on container platform. So you need to learn everybody. For sure, they have to learn about Docker and Kubernetes. So I'll be teaching in-depth concept of Docker and Kubernetes in this course. Okay. For this one, it will take for me 1 month to complete. You can understand the syllabus, what we're going to teach. Only for completing Docker Kubernetes, for me, it will take 1 month. 15 days for Linux. Okay. So that's how we will be teaching in this particular course from scratch. After learning Docker and Kubernetes, now we need to step into DevOps tools. First, we will be talking about DevOps tools. Then I will be talking about security tools, because this course is all about DevSecOps. Okay. So let us see what are the DevOps tools that we are learning to automate. First one is nothing but Jenkins, which is a CI/CD tool. And Jenkins is not part of AWS. That's the reason here I've written non-AWS cloud. Non-AWS cloud tools for DevOps Engineer. So what are the tools that we have to learn? One is Jenkins, which is a CI/CD tool. Does anyone know what is CI/CD? A full form at least?
Continuous
Continuous
integration.
integration, continuous development.
No, not development actually. I'll tell you. Continuous integration, continuous delivery or deployment. Delivery or deployment. For example, let's say every company will develop a software, right? Software development lifecycle. We call it as SDLC. Okay. I'll tell you what is SDLC, what is Scrum model, what is Scrum team, okay, what is Agile, what is Jira tool and all. I'll explain all those. That is related to the person who wants to add some particular fake experience. Okay, to be genuine, I'm talking straight away. If you want to add some particular fake experience and all right, at the time you need to know what is Scrum model, what is Agile model, how team will be interacting with each other. Okay, what is a Jira tool? What is story? What is let's say in progress? What is acceptant? All these terminologies we need to understand. Okay, so Jenkins is one of the CI/CD tool. So this will help you to automate everything without any manual steps. For example, as a developer, I will write a code. Now the code has to be tested. First, the code has to be built. After that, it has to be tested. Then it has to be stored in the artifact. After that, it has to be deployed. Then the monitoring has to be integrated. Now, who will do this particular task? Will you do it manually? No, right. Someone has to automate this. That particular tool who automates this particular process is called as CI/CD. To be simple right now, in the demo, I cannot explain more than this, but we will be learning Jenkins tool as part of CI/CD platform. Okay, there are many tools. And one more point is, apart from Jenkins, we will be learning GitHub Actions as well in the project. In the course, we will be learning Jenkins, but in the project, what I'm going to teach, you will be learning about GitHub Actions as well. So I'll be covering two CI/CD tools. One is Jenkins and one is GitHub Actions. Okay. And then, though I'm not written here. And one more thing is nothing but if you want to monitor your Kubernetes cluster and their applications, we need to learn the monitoring tools like Prometheus and Grafana. Okay. After deploying applications, how will you monitor your application, whether it is running or not? And if something goes wrong, I need to see the logs of the application. Now, who will capture all these informations? Your Prometheus and Grafana as a dashboard. To visually see them, we have to use Grafana dashboard. To fetch this information, Prometheus will be used for your Kubernetes cluster. K8s. K8s is nothing but Kubernetes. Okay. And after that, we need to learn about Git, version control system. Under this, we'll be learning GitHub. Okay, GitHub and code commit, both of them. Both are same actually. Both are called as Git tools. So what are the Git tools we have? GitHub, GitLab, and then we have code commit, Azure repos, and then we have this one, Bitbucket. All these comes under Git tools. Okay, so we need to learn how to store the code. See, people will not store the code in the local system, right? Many people will be working on the project, and you will be distributing the work. When the work is distributed for a software development, everybody has to write the code, and they have to store the code in the centralized server. To do that particular task, we have to use Git. Okay, so Git is called as version controlling system, and that too it is called as distributed version control system. Okay, so you need to understand what is version control system, what is centralized version control system, what is a distributed version control system, and many more. Okay, and after that we need to learn about Ansible. So Ansible is one of the configuration management tool. For example, you have 100 systems in your organization. On 100 systems, you have to do some particular task. How much time it will take for you to manually do it? Maybe some hours or some days, if you want to do that. But instead of me doing it manually, I want someone to log into my system, and what are the commands I have told, it has to execute it. Who will do that particular job right now? Ansible. We have Ansible, Puppet, SaltStack, Chef. We have so many tools like that under configuration management. So the tool what we are learning in this course is Ansible, which is pretty easy to learn and easy to manage. That's the reason why we are learning Ansible. After that, we need to learn infrastructure as a code tool. If you want to manage your AWS cloud, if you want to create anything on AWS cloud, we will not create manually. Initially, we will learn manual steps, but after that, we have to automate, right? So what is the tool that we will be using to automate our AWS resources on the cloud? We'll be using Terraform. If I learn Terraform right, nowadays, many companies are using Terraform and it is widely used, and we have many opportunities on Terraform. Okay, only Terraform tool. Even if you learn only Terraform, that will help you a lot in your career. Okay, so why Terraform? Because tomorrow if I switch my career from AWS to Azure, if I need to manage my resource on Azure cloud right now, I don't need to learn any new tool. Terraform is enough. So that's the benefit of using this particular Terraform tool. Okay, I see someone is asking some question. Who's that? I see something like my PC. Is there any question from your side? You raised a hand or just no? Okay, fine. Now let's see the next tool that we are going to learn. That is SonarQube. So SonarQube is one of the static code analysis tool. I told you right. As a security team, how will you identify that your code is secure? The code what you have written, how I will tell that it is secure? It doesn't have any vulnerabilities or a code smells or anything else. So even though I'm a 15 years experienced developer or a senior developer and all, though I have 20 years of experience or 15 years experience, I cannot go to each and every line and read the code and understand the concept right and see which is having what mistakes and all. Someone has to do the job on behalf of me. That particular tool is nothing but SonarQube. So SonarQube will do static code analysis. So what is static code? Before it is compiled, okay, before your code got compiled actually, I need to find out the vulnerabilities on the code or bugs in the code or code smells in the code. In those conditions, we have to use SonarQube and we have to automate this process. Okay, nothing should be executed manually. And the last one is nothing but optional, that is Python. If you want to be a programmer, if you want to be a developer as well, if you want to learn Python, Python is not going to be taught in this course. It is optional. If you want Python programming to be learned, we'll give the video access. But Python will be not taught in this my course right now, the 3 months course what I'm telling you right now. Okay, this is optional. This is not mandate for everyone. If you are interested and if you want to learn, then you can talk to management. They'll provide you Python access. Okay. So these are the tools what we have to learn under DevOps. Okay,
So
where it is not related to AWS right now.
this is Jagan here. See,
Yes, sir.
Python is it's on that DevOps based, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. No. The why I'm asking this is I
See,
was all
everybody is not interested in programming language, right? And I
okay.
say that programming language is not mandate to get a job in IT right now. Okay, even without learning programming, also we can get a job. So for that reason, what I'm saying is to teach Python again, it will take for me 15 days to complete. So not to extend that, we are giving Python as a video access, not a classroom training. Means
No,
the live
that is fine.
training right now.
That is fine. See, even I know Python. That's not the big issue. The only thing is like it's related to DevOps in the sense. Just I want to check. That's all about.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
So which
So
tool
now
are we
let us
going
see what is
to,
sorry.
so which tool are we going to use for automation if we are not going to learn the Python?
Python is not an automation tool. Python is a development tool. If you want to develop some particular program or a software, we use Python.
Which language? I mean,
I mean, we are not
no.
learning any language here. We are learning only shell scripting, that to bash shell. Okay.
Oh,
So I'll be
okay.
teaching only in the classroom, this particular sessions and all, only shell scripting. That is mandate. See, if you want to work with Linux operating system, you have to automate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, you have to learn about bash shell scripting.
Okay. And for the Kubernetes, do you think that after taking this course, one will be
You
able
can
to
plan
take?
for certification as well.
Ye- Okay, yeah, that's my question. So
Yeah.
which?
So if you are planning for any certification, right, the course what I'm teaching, that is more than enough. I'll tell you the certification point of view. So we have totally three types of certifications. I did two of them. One is CKA, CKAD, and CKS. I did certification on CKA and CKS, Certified Kubernetes Security Specialist. Okay. I did a certification on Certified Kubernetes Administration. So, which is the basic one that we have to do? Certified Kubernetes Administrator. So, in that Certified Kubernetes Administrator, we have a online examination or offline. Generally, most of the people will prefer offline. Sorry, online. Okay, you can sit here at your home and you can do the examination. So that examination is for 2 hours. Okay, and that too it is a practical session. It is not like AWS theoretical questions and all. They'll give you some question scenario and you have to implement that scenario on the live server. What they provide you. So they'll give you totally 17 questions. Out of that, if you clear 13 questions right, you will be passed. Why? Because the pass percent cutoff is nothing but 65. That's the reason.
Okay, sounds
Yes,
good.
that is fine.
And last question for the networking, are we going to learn networking too?
Yeah. For example, see, if you want to learn about AWS VPC service, which I've listed in the AWS services, you need to know what is IP address. Okay, you need to know what is IPv4, what is IPv6, what is router, what is switch, what is hub, what are classes, what is subnet, what is CIDR, what is gateway, what is broadcast, and what is OSM model, OS and ISO model, what are 7 layers we have, what is protocol, what is port number. So we need to understand these 15 concepts. Then only we can enter into the cloud, like VPC network. Okay. So first I will be teaching that. It will take whole day to complete that particular topic. And then I will be starting cloud services. So for every cloud service, I will be teaching you fundamentals. Okay. What is that? If you don't have a cloud, how we used to do it? If you have a cloud, how it will simplify your task. So I'll be teaching both of them. So that basics will be covered and cloud also will be covered. What is the advantage of that? Tomorrow, if you switch your career from this cloud to another cloud, no need to learn the basics. You already know the basics. Now you can compare with that. Maybe the service name will be different. Okay, and the options will be different, but the functionality will be the same. That is the advantage of learning basics. Okay. So did I answer your question or anything else?
Yes, sounds good. Thank you.
And it's simple. To be simplified, if you want to sustain anywhere, right? Fundamentals are the most important. If you don't know the fundamentals, right, it is hard to survive in any industry, not only IT, everywhere. So that's the reason from my side, though it will take some time, okay, I will teach fundamentals, then only I will step into the tools or the cloud services. Okay, don't worry about that because I told you right. Some people will come from IT background. For you, you know about it. For other people will be there in the team, right? Who doesn't know about this fundamentals, IT and all. I need to teach from them as well. So to understand, to make the people to understand, I have to teach from basics. That's all. So any questions, please?
Actually, the point is like where you showed that the Kubernetes topics. I feel
Yeah.
like still need more topics, I guess.
More?
Or you just added only the few topics for the Kubernetes here. I
See,
think
I've added so many. You can see here, right? You can check here.
it's before, I
What is
guess.
missing here?
There is something called a service mesh. We have
Service mesh
tools
is
where
Additionally,
So
I
if
will
you can
suggest
take 1 day session over there, at least 1 day, that would be very helpful, because in real
service
time I
mesh.
had seen like, yeah, Stio or maybe Linked, whatever it is. If
Let
you
me do
take
one thing.
a
I
day,
will take
yeah,
Istio. I will take
yeah,
Istio.
that would be
Okay.
great. Yeah, that would be great.
Sure, I will add that into it. Okay, if you have a requirements, right? Okay, no problem. I will
Yeah,
teach it.
yeah. Actually, I'm already working this profile. Just like Stio, something new for
Understand,
me.
understand. Because
Uh,
see, why I not added a service mesh or Istio or LinkedIn service mesh, because that is a huge topic for other people. Okay,
yeah,
who are
yeah.
coming from scratch.
At the end,
This is
you
a
can, if you want.
overwhelming topic, right?
Yeah, at the end of this session, if you can take 1 day, two
Yeah,
day, whatever feasible, that would. I mean, I just want to see, like, you already have so much of experience, and so I just want to see how to do troubleshooting and setup of all those stuff. So
exactly.
that,
Exactly, exactly. So, see,
thank.
deploying a tool, everybody can do it, right? But when there is an issue, how will you react to that particular errors or a
Yeah,
troubleshooting? That is the more important right now to survive. Okay. So I'll be teaching
yeah,
that.
and
One day I will take after this course, right? One day I will take to explain a service mesh, either Istio or LinkedIn, whichever you prefer. I will take that. Okay.
yeah, Stu would be great. And just want to add one more thing. I have been like, I had already been through your videos, like old videos, regarding DevOps
Okay.
and all. It was too good. That has inspired me to join this session. So thanks a lot, Sudhir, for that part. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Abhi. That's what I also thought of that. Istio would be fine. And if
Hmm.
possible, just you can cover that Helm also, just an overview, like
Yeah.
so that.
See. Okay, okay. So, see, from my side, I can add everything, whatever you want, what you want. But the problem is the time constraint what we have, right? That is causing me to restrict. Okay. I will give you one suggestion. Don't think it is a
Yeah.
promotion or something like that. So, we have a website called ktengineers.com from our Visualpath side. I've treated the in-depth concept of Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, for developers, for Linux administrators, DevSecOps, cloud, automation, SRE, SDET, projects. We have created projects as well. You can see how many projects we created, real-time projects. So this website is almost 2000 rupees actually, lifetime access. And they are removing this one. Right now, if you want to only learn this one, right, they'll provide you a different cost like 500 rupees or 300 rupees. When this is released, right, I will let you know. Now it is released. Many people are using it. Okay. Earlier we released it for 2000. Now we want to sell it for different price for each and every. Let's say you want to learn only DevSecOps, Docker and Kubernetes. Okay. So here I covered everything, including
Okay.
security as well. If you see here, I covered Helm chats, what you're looking for. And if you go inside it, right? Let me
Okay.
just pause this. You can see how many topics I've covered under Helm chats. You can see this, right? In the projects as well. Project 1, Project 2, Project 3. Including from scratch. You can see this.
Okay.
So
Sounds
this is the
great.
website. If you want to understand the in-depth from basic from zero to like in-depth level, if you want to be a master on this KTS Kubernetes and Docker, right, you can reach this particular website. Okay.
Sounds great.
This is
Yeah.
from Visualpath. If you want access to it, right, you can contact Visualpath. Okay.
Okay, sure. Sounds great.
Yeah. But see, I can teach Helm as well here. Again, it will take for me 15 and 20 days. If you increase one by one topic, right, it will almost like a PG program. That's the reason why.
Yeah, that is fine. That is fine. No, just an overview, like so. At least that will be helpful for
I will
the
tell
people. So
you,
that.
see, on the last day, right, after the course was done, if you want something, let's say theoretical knowledge, or if you want something to be explained, right, I'm happy to help you anytime. Maybe on Saturday or Sunday, we can sit together on a call and we can discuss on that for 1 hour or 2 hours. Nothing, I will not say no for it. Anytime you can talk to me and you can get the help on anything, any
Sounds
certifications, or if you are looking for any other tool related to this topics at all, you can give it to
like
me.
I
I'll provide you some
done.
information on it.
Yeah, KCA only. Architect is done AWS. So just I'm planning for that KCA. Yeah.
Sure, sure. Yeah. Let me know if you're planning for it. I'll provide you some tips as well. How to be on time, because 2 hours, right? In 2 hours, you have to answer 17 questions. If you do any mistake, right, that will what is it? The answer itself is entirely will be wrong, even if you write a spelling mistake.
That's true. That's
Okay.
true. That's
That's how it works. Yeah.
Super,
Now
Sujit.
let
Yeah.
us see what are the. See, I will take the questions at the end of the session. So please give me some time to explain other tools. Okay. Now, under security tools, what are the tools we'll be learning as DevSecOps engineer? We'll be learning about Privy, which is a vulnerability scanning tool. Okay, and then Docker security with CIS benchmarking. Okay, so that is one of the tool what we'll be using to find out the security loopholes what we have in Docker platform. Okay, and we'll be using Kubebench. For example, you deploy a Kubernetes cluster. On that, I want to find out the security vulnerabilities or whether my cluster was deployed as per our organization requirement or not. I want to identify all this particular information and I want to generate a report. In those conditions, we have to use Kubebench. And moreover, we'll be using kubelinter as well. For example, I'll be writing some YAML files and whether you have written all the required parameters or not as per your organization. And then you're applying it or not. To identify them, we'll be using kubelinter. Okay, so these are security tools which are related to Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, and few security tools what I'll be covering in AWS itself. So we have their inbuilt services, and these are open source tools right now for Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, so if you want to be a DevSecOps engineer for Docker and Kubernetes, then these are the tools what you have to learn. Okay, and if you are planning for next level of certification, like certified Kubernetes security specialist, then these particular tools will help you a lot. Okay, and then what is next? After completing all these particular topics, this is your DevOps roadmap. This is a DevOps. Actually, you can add security tools as well, what I've shown you right now. So if you look at this particular map right now, if you want to be a DevOps engineer, what are the categories that we have and what are the tools that we have to learn? Here, blue color is nothing but very important. Yellow color is nothing but important. And the third one is nothing but normal. Optional it is. Okay. If I want to learn any operating system, server administrator. So what is the operating system we are learning in this course? Linux. So we have Linux, Unix, and Windows. Mac operating system, we don't use it for real-time projects. Okay. So we'll be using only Linux or Unix or Windows. Okay. So we will be learning Linux operating system here. So this particular topic is covered in our course. And after that, servers. Okay. If you want to run a website, we need a web server. Okay. If you want a caching, we need a cache server. If you want to have a database for your application, we need to learn about database server. How to install that. So under web server, what I will be covering Apache and Nginx. And in cache, I'll be covering Memcache, not Redis. I'll be covering Memcache. If you people want Redis, I'll be covering Redis as well. Okay, but both comes under caching. And under database, I'll be covering SQL and NoSQL. Under SQL database, structured query language, I'll be covering MariaDB, sorry, that is MySQL and PostgreSQL. These are the two databases which I'll be covering here. And under NoSQL database, I'll be using DynamoDB. Not everything. I'll be covering DynamoDB from AWS. Okay. So your servers are covered right now. So you learned one particular web server, one cache server, and one database server, and one NoSQL and SQL. So these are the tools.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, in this part only you are going to cover the PostgreSQL, right?
PostgreSQL, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Our live application is using a PostgreSQL database. So I'll tell you how to interact with database. What are the queries we have to run? You know queries, right? Structured query language. So you need to run some query. Okay. So I'll be teaching that. Okay. Yeah.
Hi,
So
Sudhir,
which is covered? Yeah.
Sudhir, one doubt, while coming to learning programming language, they're Python, Golang, JavaScript, right?
Yeah.
Can you what about that Golang, how it will be like? Can you please explain that? Like in a
See,
short term.
now your Docker and Kubernetes and the tools related to Docker and Kubernetes are all developed on Go language. Okay. If you want to be a development site, means if you want to do any development on your Docker and Kubernetes tools and all, relevant tools and all, you have to learn about Go language. If you know that, right, that will help you to go the career path in the Docker and Kubernetes side. Okay. So that is upcoming, will become a widely used programming language by many of the organizations in upcoming, maybe after 1 year or a half of the year. Right now, the Python is widely used by many of the organizations.
Okay. Then apart that Python, we can choose like a Golang, right?
Yeah, I would prefer if you already have some familiar programming language idea and all, right, you can directly go with Golang. If you are starting your career on programming language, then you can start with Python. Okay. Go language is a problem with Go language. It is a combination of C language plus Python. Both the syntaxes you will see.
Oh, okay, fine.
That's all.
Yeah, that's it.
So this particular part I will be not covering in this course. Okay, that is an option for us.
Yeah,
Okay.
fine. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
And then coming back to CI/CD, I'll be covering Jenkins and GitHub Actions, both of them, first one and last one. I'll be covering Jenkins and I'll be covering GitHub Actions as well. So according to your requirement, whichever tool you have learned more, that particular tool you can add it in your resume. Okay. After completing CI/CD, then we will be teaching about cloud. So in the cloud, what I'm covering right now, AWS. Okay. Under monitoring and logging, what I'm covering Prometheus and Grafana. Under logging, I'm covering EFK, which is now called as ELK, Elastic Logstash Kibana. Now it is called as EFK, Elastic Fluently Kibana. So that I'll be covering. Okay, under monitoring and logging. And now coming back to infrastructure as a code, under configuration management, I'll be covering Ansible. Under containers, we'll be covering Docker. Under container orchestration, we'll be covering Kubernetes. And under infrastructure provisioning, I'll be using Terraform. So these particular tools will be covered under infrastructure as a code. Okay, one is configuration management, one is container, one is container orchestration, and one more is infrastructure provisioning. That I'll be covering with Terraform. And finally, networking. As I told you, everybody has to learn about networking fundamentals. I'll be teaching that. What is protocol? What is DNS? What is FTP? What is HTTP? What is HTTPS? What is IP address? What is network? Okay, you might be using at your home, right? Network, IP address, routers and all. But we don't know what is that, what they do exactly. So, but here we have to learn about it. But don't imagine that everything will be managed by network team. As DevOps culture is adopted by many organizations, there is no such team like dedicatedly for networking, for servers, for database and all. You have to do multitasking. You need to be experienced on all the tools. That's the job of DevOps engineer or DevSecOps engineer. Okay. So no one will help you on that. So from here onwards, you have to learn about it. So for every tool, what I'm covering, right, I will give you the task. What are the topics I covered? For every topic, I will give the task. But that particular task, everybody has to complete for sure. If you want to learn that particular topic, you have to complete that particular task. Then only you will get some experience on that particular tool or the topic what I'm covering. Okay, that is the only thing what you need, what I need from your side. Effort. That's all, and practice. So just you have to practice what I teach on daily basis. Spend one hour time or 2 hours time according to your knowledge. Let's say if you are already experienced, just you need half an hour or 1 hour. If you are new to this particular technology, you need to spend from 2 hours or 3 hours on daily basis until you understand the topic. Okay. So if you have questions, you can ask me at any time. We'll be creating a WhatsApp group. Okay. Instead of waiting for the next day, you can ping me in the WhatsApp group itself. Okay. If you have any doubts or if you have any errors or if you have any questions, you can ping me on the WhatsApp group itself. Okay. So daily basis, we'll be having 1 hour session. Okay. 1 hour session. Timing and all, you can talk to Malathi or the Visualpath management. They will tell you what's the timing and all. So, but daily it will be 1 hour. Saturdays, only when it is required, I'll be taking the session. If you are on the time and I'm completing the syllabus on the time, I'll not take sessions on Saturdays. Okay. So Saturday, Sunday, you can practice more if you want. Okay. But don't keep your task, whatever I've given, on weekends. Okay. Weekends will have a personal commitments, right? So you might miss the topics what I've covered. If you keep everything on weekends, right? If your weekend was occupied, then you cannot practice. And next week we'll be learning a new topics, right? If you don't understand the previous topics, you don't understand next topics what I'm teaching. All are interlinked. So that's the reason practice on daily basis. Okay. And the final one is nothing but these are the projects what I'm going to teach. These are like architectures what I've drawn right now. Okay. So these are the mini projects kind of. Okay. What I will be giving. And finally, after completing this particular course, you can call your profile as AWS Solution Architect Associate under security, or you can call it as Docker or Cloud DevSecOps Engineer. We can use any one of this particular role after completing this course. So you have to search jobs related to AWS Solution Architect Associate Security with security, or you can call it as Cloud DevSecOps Engineer. Okay. Then what is a live project that I'll be teaching? Let's see. So what are the application you have seen just now, right? This is the application what I will show you how we deployed on our AWS cloud. Okay, from scratch. I cannot share the data, or I cannot share the project code, but I will tell you how the project will be deployed, how we have automated this, on which platform we are running this application right now, how it got deployed, what are the things we have used, how we automated this. Okay, so I'll explain you each and everything. So that will help you a lot to add this particular project in your resume. This is a live application and it is a live project. Okay, so we will be teaching this particular project on this particular course. Once all the tools have been discussed, I'll be taking some 2 to 3 days to complete this particular project. So we have many applications. So Visualpath is having many applications like DevOps Online Hub, KTSengineers.com, and then we have Visualpath Tech or Visualpath EDU. We have Visualpath Tech as well. You can see. So we have these many applications. Okay, I'll pick any one of the applications and I will show you how to deploy these applications from scratch. All these are e-learning portals. Okay, so where we store this image, what you say, these videos, how your application is fetching those videos. Okay, how we deployed this application, what language we have used. I'll tell you the language what we have used. We are using React.js and Node.js. In the backend, we are using a database called PostgreSQL. So these are the 3 servers what we are using to deploy these applications, whatever you're seeing right now. All are using the same language, Node language, and we are using for front-end UI React.js. Backend, middleware we are using Node.js, and backend we are using PostgreSQL. So this is like a 3-tier application. Now this particular project you can explain in the interview as well, end-to-end. So this is an end-to-end project. Okay. So this is all about the entire course. If you want to have some my personal details, like get my GitHub link and YouTube channel, and if you want to contact me on my email address, so these are the details what you can use. Okay. So these are all about the course and the tools what I will be teaching. So if you have any questions, you can ask me right now.
Thank you for the session, Sunil. You are going to provide these PPTs, right?
Yes,
The
exactly.
one which all the PPTs which you are going to show
Documents,
via session.
documents, PPTs, everything I'll be sharing in the classroom. Now the existing batch is there, right? I used to share
Okay.
all the documents using classroom.google.com. So that is from Google. So I used to share the documents for every team. You can see. So here I'll be uploading all the videos. Sorry, not videos, all the documents. Okay. And not only that, I used to give tasks as well. You can say assignments. I gave some 50 questions for them to complete. Okay. One project related to WordPress and database application deployment. One is related to IAM security best practices. You are a DevSecOps engineer, right? So under IAM service of AWS, what are the security best practices you have to follow? For that, I gave the documentations. Okay. The only thing is you have to practice what are the task I gave or what are the assignment I've given to you. Okay. So all the documents will be shared via classroom. Okay.
Thank you. And please include this STO part because it is very useful for troubleshooting.
See, I will be teaching at the end. Only who is
Yeah,
needed
yeah,
this, who needs this particular training program, that particular tool, actually, I'll be teaching it at the end
yeah.
of this course.
That is fine. Yeah, that is fine. Thank you. Thanks a lot from my side. Yeah.
Fine, fine, no problem.
Here,
So
can you
any other
please
questions,
suggest some?
guys?
Can you please suggest name of some books for studying this?
Books.
Yeah.
See, if you're interested, that's fine. I would say books are nothing but static information, right? The tools are getting changed frequently. If you read the book, I will tell you the problem. Yeah, that is a good thing, but the problem with the books is nothing but these particular tools are getting changed frequently. They are adding new functionalities, they are removing the old functionalities and all. So I would recommend to read the official documents. That is more than enough. I'll tell you how to read them. I don't suggest any books. I'm not reading any books right now. Any books. Just I will learn about a new tool. I will read the official document of that particular tool and I will do a practical demo of it. That's all. Okay. That's the best way of learning the new topics or old topics. If you go to the book, I will tell you, you will think that is correct. Okay. But now they have changed a lot of things, right? If the person has not updated the book, you will see the old information. The best example is nothing but Docker. Docker has recently changed so many things. I don't prefer any books. That's the reason I don't know any books right now. Okay.
Okay. But still, I mean, how do which documents do I read? Where do I get those documents? How can I do that? Means, can you
Yeah.
please give us a hint?
Generally, I used to, generally for Kubernetes, right? Docker and Kubernetes, we have official document. Instead of that, this is my GitHub link. I prepared all the documents related to Docker and Kubernetes. Okay. And help charts as well. If I go inside it, I created all the topics for Kubernetes. You can see the documentation. So I used to explain what is this. I used to give the links as well, what you need to refer. I used to explain how to set up Kubernetes cluster. You can say I've written the steps. Okay.
So it's overlay.
This is how I used to prefer. Okay. I will tell you how I used to learn the topics, right? Whenever I see a new topic, first I will learn it. I'll execute it practically. Then I will prepare my own documentations. That's what I used to do. It will take some time. But the thing is, when you write a document on your own, that will register in your mind. That's how it is. This is DevOps UA. That is my GitHub, account.
So remember it is DevOps UA.
Yeah.
If you can please confirm some timing, maybe, I mean, not exact, but maybe when
It will
the
be morning
session will
time.
happen.
Maybe from morning 8 to 9.
8 to 9. Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't it possible to make it something 7 to 8 or something like that?
78, we already have a session. Maybe 6 to 7 or 8 to 9.
Yeah,
Every morning,
yeah,
just
6 to 7 is,
it's hard to read.
yeah, perfectly fine. 6 to 7 is
7 is
perfectly fine.
yeah, perfectly fine for me too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But
8
waking up
to
in
9
this
because
winter
we
is
have to
too
go
tough,
to
man.
office. Yeah,
I
actually 8 to 9
understand.
we have to go to office, so that's the only
8
challenge.
o'clock we want to
Understand.
go for the office. So
Yeah.
See, if everybody is okay, see, inform your timings and all to the management, they'll take a decision. Okay. Raise your concern. If they tell, maybe most probably it will be from 6 to 7 morning. If you want any specific time, tell them what you want, what your timing you are looking for. Give a time slots. Okay. On that, we'll take an average. Okay.
Thank you.
So, yeah, after the completion of this course,
Yeah.
what are the certifications we can be able to complete?
From Visualpath, they'll give you the certification. Apart from that, if you want any certified official certificates, you can plan for AWS Security Specialist. Okay, sorry, AWS Solution Architect Associate. That is entirely a theoretical, examination. Apart from that, I would say plan for a certification for CKA, Certified Kubernetes Administrator. That doesn't take much time. If you practice Docker and Kubernetes, what I've taught, especially Kubernetes, and if you vigorously practice for 1 week or 2 weeks, I'll share the questions as well. Not exact questions, similar questions. Okay. I'll share you the questions. If you practice vigorously for 2 weeks, right, you can clear the exam. No need to worry about that. Okay.
So,
It is not
yes,
that tough actually.
will be becoming a admin or developer as per like my understanding.
Which one you're talking about? AWS Cloud or Kubernetes?
No. You're saying that Kubernetes admin and
This is called
AWS.
as Kubernetes. Kubernetes is like CK exam, what you are supposed to write. Certified Kubernetes Administrator. Okay. If you are planning for AWS, it is called as Solution Architect Associate. I'll tell you why it is called like that. Because for the AWS services, what we have, as per your client requirement, we have to create a solution, right? You need to create an architecture, you need to create a solution for your client requirement to run their project or application. That's the reason our profile is called as Solution Architect Associate. Okay.
Okay. So we'll be learning only SQL, right?
So Sudhir, after
Yeah.
please go
Sorry,
ahead.
don't overlap. He's talking something. Yeah, you're saying something. Sorry.
Yeah, I am saying that will you be learning only SQL or any other like programming language like Jode and Node.js
No,
or
no programming languages in this course.
okay.
Only shell scripting. That's all. That too, bash shell scripting. Since we are learning Linux, if it is Windows,
Are we,
you have to learn
are,
PowerShell scripting.
are we going to learn the YAML file,
Yeah.
like writing the YAML file from
YAML before writing Kubernetes declarative files, or before writing your Docker Compose files, you need to know how to write a YAML, right?
Mm,
So first you need to understand what is JSON. Then we need to understand YAML syntaxes, and then we'll be learning how to write it. Okay.
and same for the Kubernetes, like config.
Obviously, see, if you learn YAML, right, it is same for all of them. You'll be writing everything from scratch. It's
Very
not that
good.
I will be writing a YAML file first, then I'll be showing you directly and I will execute it. It's not like that. I will show you how to write a YAML as well.
Okay, and for the Terraform,
Terraform will be writing Terraform configuration files. HCL language we have to use. HashiCorp configuration language.
It's
It is from scratch. Don't imagine that what are the tools I'm displayed here. It will be in high level. We have to start from scratch. Okay.
for the
Any other
AWS,
questions, guys?
for the AWS part, are we going to cover ECS too or no? And Lambda?
Yeah, EKS. We'll be covering Kubernetes on EKS, but you guys have to practice on your local setup. Because if you practice on EKS, right, that is billable. Okay, you'll not be in a position to pay the bill, right? Be unnecessary, right? Just you need to know what is Kubernetes. Maybe the platform was different. Okay, I'll be covering Kubernetes on cloud, and anyway we have the recording. You can practice on your local system. Okay, why to waste your money, right?
And also, are we going to cover the Lambda?
Lambda service as well, what I displayed.
Yeah, Lambda service for AWS.
Exactly. AWS Lambda service. I think I displayed that. You can watch the recording once again. They'll share you the recorded video as well.
system.
Yeah. So that's all for this demo, guys. Thanks for joining, and the course will be started soon. So Malti will be informing you about this particular course. Okay.
What's the
So my recommendation is join the course, listen for 4 days, then take your decision.
what's the duration of the course?
3 months.
Okay.
3 months it is. For sure, have to take 3 months.
What are the particular certifications we can apply for? Means we can search for
AWS Solution Architect Associate. Yeah, AWS Solution Architect, and you can plan for CKA or CKAD.
CKAD.
Okay.
Kubernetes
CKAD, a Certified Kubernetes Application Developer.
application developer. Okay.
Any one of them you have to do. No need to do both of them. Either CKA. I would recommend everybody to do CKA, not CKAD. Okay.
Administrator.
Administrator, not application developer. Then you can plan for one more certification as like Terraform. You can plan for that certification as well. Terraform Associate.
Terraform associate. Okay.
I'll tell you. Whenever you're planning for that, right, let me know. I'll tell you the certifications, what we have, how you need to prepare, and what is the exam duration, how you need to prepare, how many days you have to practice. I'll give you the suggestions on that. Okay?
Yes, so this is Hari.
Yeah, Hari.
Actually, I'm completely fresher about this thingy. Whatever you can explain about these all things.
Yeah.
Is it better to take this? But I'm in the non-IT background, yeah. But I'm working as Power BI developer. But I'm doing previous job 3 years.
Okay.
But I don't know about the thing is AWS. But there's no.
That's why we are here, right? See, this course is something who doesn't know about anything. If you already know about that, why we need to learn this course? It is simple. To make you understand, I'm saying you that if you already know about this particular topic, why you have to join this course? You can learn on your own. This course is for someone who doesn't know anything about it. Okay, that's how we are starting from scratch. Even if you know something, you don't know anything, everything, right? So it's for all of them. Okay. Even if one person in our team, if even in one person in our team doesn't know about anything about it, I have to start from scratch. That's how it is.
But I'm thinking it's better to take DevSecOps or only AWS DevOps. I have the confusion about this.
Security tools, if you don't want to learn, you can skip them, right? You can just skip them. Okay.
Okay. But which one is the
But
better? Which one is?
I would say listen them. Okay, if you're planning for only AWS DevOps, join this course and listen related to all security tools. You can ignore them. If you want to add into your career, later you can watch these recordings and you can learn security as well. Okay. That's how I suggest.
Taken is 3 months, yeah?
3 months, obviously. I cannot compromise on the dates actually. Why? Because if I need to teach from scratch, I need 3 months. For sure.
Yeah. Thank you. But I'm completely new. That's why I'm asking this question.
Okay. Yeah. This is for someone who doesn't know about anything about. I told you even ABCD of this particular technology. We are starting from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so share again. See, my main concern is about the timing only. 6 is fine because
Major 99%. See, you will say 6 to 7. Some will say like 7 to 8, and some will say 8 to 9. Tell me when we have to take a course, right?
Okay, is that fine? We can have the evening batch. Is that possible in that's for you?
See, you cannot tell that, right? See, I need to see my feasibility, organization feasibility.
That's what I'm asking you. That evening is fine for you for the
Evening
evening
we
batch.
already have a slot. Evening we already have a slot. See, I'm taking morning 2 batches, evening 2 batches. Okay. So, but most probably 99% it will be from 6 to 7 morning. No need to worry about that. Okay.
Yeah, that will be very helpful for us. Yeah.
Because I also have my own I have my commitments, right? So in order to do that, I need to take a session from 6 to 7, I guess. But we'll discuss. Okay. I'll discuss with the management. I'll say majority of the people what they are saying from you guys, right? We have to take a feedback. Then we have to just sit and discuss and then we'll inform you. Okay. Again, if you have any concerns, you can raise. Okay. So thank you guys. I'm running out of time. So sorry for stopping here. And you can join the course and you can just listen 4 to 5 days and then take your decision. Okay. Whether you are able to understand whether it is suitable for me or not, then you can decide. And you can take whether my way of teaching is feasible for you or not. Then you can take your own decision. We are not asking everybody to join the course immediately and pay the fees, right? So listen to it and take a decision. That's how I would suggest. Okay.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Happy Dasra to everyone. Thank you. Sorry, happy Diwali. That's what I'm saying.
Happy Diwali.
I'm out of time. Happy Diwali to all. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Happy Diwali.
When will be the next class?
Bye. Thank you.
I don't know.
Okay.
Management will intimate you. Don't worry about that. Maybe 4 or 5 days it will take. That's all. After festival, right? We'll start the session, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, Sudhir. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all.